morning. I call this meeting of the Michigan Public Service Commission to order on December 6th at 10:01 a.m. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Talberg,
Present?
Commissioner Scripps,
Present.
Commissioner Phillips.
Present.
Madam Chairman, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We have an issue with the live stream. The meeting will be recorded and available, the video feed will be available online, but the live stream is not working, just so you all know. Item number 1, approval of the agenda.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the agenda for today's meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The agenda's approved. Next up is meeting minutes.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the minutes from the November 14th, 2019 Commission meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The meeting minutes are approved. And next up, item 3, approval of orders on the consent agenda. Today, the commission is assisted by Barb Kunkel and staff.
Good morning. Today's consent agenda consists of 2 communications matters, 3 electric matters, 2 gas matters. The proposed orders for each of these matters have been thoroughly vetted by the Commission's technical and legal staff and are ready for your approval.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the orders on today's consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The orders approved. Orders are approved.
Item 4A1 is case number U-15805, which involves a petition for rehearing filed by Consumers Energy Company. The order before you grants the petition for rehearing and the relief requested therein.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the order in case U-15805.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The order's approved.
Item 4A2 is case number U-20150, which involves a complaint filed by citizens against rate excess against Upper Peninsula Power Company. The order before you grants the application for leave to appeal filed by Upper Peninsula Power Company and denies the requested relief.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the order in case U-20150.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order's approved.
Item 4A3 is case number U-20350, which involves an application by Upper Peninsula Power Company for approval of its integrated resource plan pursuant to MCL 460.6T and for other relief. Staff member Al Freeman is here to describe the order.
Good morning, Chairman Talberg and Commissioners Scripps and Phillips. In 2016, the governor signed PA 341 into law. It required all state-regulated utilities to submit integrated resource plans, or IRPs, for Michigan Public Service Commission review and approval. An IRP is developed by an electric utility and outlines its future resource strategy, how the electric utility will provide reliable, cost-effective electric service to its customers, while addressing the risks and uncertainties inherent in the electric utility business. To approve an IRP, the Commission must find the plan represents the most reasonable and prudent means of meeting the electric utility's energy and capacity needs. The Commission has 300 days to approve, deny, or recommend changes to the utility's IRP. If the plan is approved, the Commission grants cost approval for 3 years. Alternatively, if the Commission recommends any changes, the utility has 30 days to consider the proposed changes and may submit a revised IRP. If a utility files a revised plan, the Commission has 30 days to issue a final order. On February 12, 2019, the Upper Peninsula Power Company, or UPCO, filed its IRP application in case number U-20350. The Michigan Department of Attorney General, Citizens Against Rate Excess, the Association of Businesses Advocating Tariff Equity, the Verso Corporation, the Circle Power, and staff all participated in the case. The first 2 IRPs that became before the Commission, filed by other utilities, resulted in settlement agreements. UPCO's IRP is the first plan to come before the Commission for approval that is fully litigated, meaning it has gone through the Commission's contested case process. After a careful and thorough review, the Commission recommends the following changes to UPCO's IRP. Removal of the financial compensation mechanism request, removal of the removal of the reciprocating internal combustion engine proposal, and removal of the accounting treatment for the Portage combustion turbine insurance settlement. In addition, as agreed to in UPCO's filing and briefs, the commission further recommends the already agreed to inclusion of energy waste reduction targets of 1.65% of total energy sales for planning year 2020 and 1.75% for planning year 2021, inclusion of a 5-year planning horizon for PURPA capacity, and inclusion of PURPA energy payment based on a 5-year fixed rate followed by a variable rate based on actual MISO locational marginal price. Additionally, the commission supports the inclusion of PURPA avoided cost by MISO's planning resource auction price, inclusion of the qualifying facility standard offer cap at 550 kW, and removal of the regulatory asset request for IRP-related costs in this case. Additionally, the commission recommends an inclusion of a modified proposed course of action with any potential subsequent action. Parties in this case have till Monday, December 23rd to file comments in response to the commission's recommendations. UPCO may file a revised IRP no later than Monday, January 6th, 2020.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the order in U-20350.
Second.
Before we go for a vote, I don't want to go into detail in terms of the commission's rationale and context for our order today, given the interim nature of this order. But I do want to take note that this was the first fully litigated integrated resource plan that has been addressed by the commission under the 2016 energy laws. The prior cases were settled. And I just really appreciate the thoughtful input of the parties, administrative law judge, and also our attorneys and advisors who helped us make an informed decision to get to this point in the proceeding. We look forward to the responses from the parties and bringing this to closure. With that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order's approved.
Item 4A4 is case number U-20604, which involves an application by Consumers Energy Company for ex parte approval of power purchase agreements with qualifying facilities. The order before you approves the power purchase agreements between Consumers and Good Fruit Storage LLC, Consumers and Next Sun Energy LLC, Consumers and Cypress Creek Renewables LLC, and Consumers and Geronimo Energy LLC as in compliance with Public Act 304 of 1982.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the order in U-20604.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order's approved.
Item 4B1 is case number U-20479, which involves an application filed by Semco Energy Gas Company, requesting authority to increase its rates for the distribution and transportation of natural gas and for other relief. Staff member Al Freeman is here to describe this order.
Good morning, Chairman Talberg and Commissioner Scripps and Phillips. On May 31st, 2019, Semco Energy Gas Company filed an application with the Commission seeking authority to increase its rates for the distribution and transportation of natural gas and other relief. Semco Gas, which serves about 300,000 customers across the southern Lower Peninsula and Upper Peninsula, last received approval for a rate increase in January 2011. Semco identified a $38.1 million revenue deficiency based on a projected 2020 test year. They requested a 10.5% return on equity. The Michigan Department of Attorney General, Citizens Utility Board of Michigan, the Retail Energy Supply Association, and Commission staff participated in the proceeding. On November 20th, 2019, after extensive negotiations, all parties agreed to a settlement resolving all issues. The proposed settlement is now before you for your approval. The parties agreed that as of January 1st, 2020, Semco's rates will be adjusted to reflect a net annual revenue increase of $19.9 million. The parties further agree that the revenue increase represents an overall capital structure with 54% common equity, with the understanding that utility will move towards a 50-50 capital structure in its next general rate case. The settlement sets an authorized rate of return on common equity of 9.87%. The settlement agreement further provides that SEMCO shall make changes to its main replacement program and initiate an infrastructure reliability improvement program with associated surcharges for both effective January 1st, 2021. SEMCO further agrees to investigate probabilistic modeling risk prior to its next general rate case and to address those results in that case. Residential customers will receive a monthly customer charge of $12.25 and a volumetric distribution rate based on billing determinations of 90.5 decatherms in annual use per customer. The parties further agree that SEMCO shall implement a facility improvement demand surcharge of 3.28 cents per decatherm, with revenue collected to be used as a credit in the gas cost recovery process. The parties agree to a residential income assistance program with a monthly credit equal to the customer charge and an enrollment of 10,500 customers with a low-income assistance credit of $30 per month capped at 2,000 customers. SEMCO will not file its next rate case until after January 1st, 2023.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move approval of the order in U-20479.
Second.
Before we go to vote on this, just a couple of comments. First of all, I'm pleased to see the commitment to making additional infrastructure improvements on SEMCO's gas infrastructure for safety and reliability that's embedded in this settlement. Some of the improvements are specifically designed to address the kind of resilience issues that were identified in the statewide energy assessment. And also, I think it's worth taking note of innovative rate discounts that are available for low-income customers of SEMCO through this settlement, and it follows an approach that DTE and consumers have pursued as part of an overall strategy to improve affordability for customers in Michigan in need. And so with that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved.
Item,
Thanks, Al.
sorry.
No, don't go.
Item 4B2 is case number U-20517, which involves an application by Michigan Gas Utilities Corporation seeking ex parte approval of a temporary waiver of the meter testing requirements in the Commission's technical standards for gas service and for other relief. The order before you approves the application and grants the requested relief.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the order in case U-20517.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved.
Item 4B3 is case number U-20653, which involves a joint petition by Presque Isle Electric and Gas Company Co-op and the Township of Alice requesting approval of the return to home rule regulation for natural gas service in Presque Isle Electric and Gas Co-op's regulated gas division as it pertains to the Township of Alice. The order before you approves the request.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the order in case U-20653.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved. Next up, item 5, public comments. Anyone seeking to address the commission should come forward? No? Good to see you, Mr. Hazard. All right. Anyone? Our next commission meeting is December 19th at 1:30 p.m. At that meeting, we'll also do our year-in review to highlight the 10 major activities and accomplishments of the Public Service Commission over the past year. Just a couple other announcements. I want to acknowledge the work of utility workers over the Thanksgiving holiday. We had a few storm events with ice and high winds that knocked out power to residents and for the customers' patience in getting the service restored. But it was quite an effort to maintain reliability during that time. And I also want to just take a moment, if we could. So Rob Ozar, can you come up here? I thought about doing this at the December 19th commission meeting, but life is short and you just never know what might come up. So we you want to have a seat? I mean, it won't, okay. I am pleased to announce that Rob Ozar, who's been an engineer with the Public Service Commission for over 40 years, is going to be retiring at year end. And I've had numerous interactions with Rob before I was a commissioner, while on staff, and working with him with some projects through a grant from the Public Service Commission. And what I can say is he has a brilliant mind. He's a visionary. And he brings about innovation to actually produce new forms of doing things that are incredibly impactful for the state and for our energy industry. Just a few examples. Rob was involved in setting up new methods for handling issues in PSCR cases. The infamous inflow-outflow method for the new distributed generation tariff, which he published a paper on that, documenting his work, and brings with all of this just an incredible amount of analysis, but practical application. He was behind the effort. There were early attempts to have an on-bill financing program and other financing, working with utilities through a pilot program, and realized we need to get this out of this framework and let's put this out and get a nonprofit to run with this. And so that led to the formation of Michigan Saves that Rob was behind and passionate about. He also just recently created a new depreciation model with hundreds of lines of code and other things to make that work. So it's fair to say that he's made a considerable impact on the commission. He's provided his expertise and shared his knowledge with many of our staff. And just really appreciate your contributions and wish you well in retirement. We appreciate it. All right. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The meeting's adjourned.